Hello and welcome! If you're watching this video, that means the Azoth pre-alpha playtesting demo has launched. It's a closed demo, so if you're interested in trying this out for yourself, join the Discord link in the description and I'll send you a link and you can help us playtest the game. We're still, full disclosure, the game's still very much in pre-alpha, so things are going to be a little bit rough, but the game's playable and we're just trying to get the gameplay loop, make sure it's fun. So if you're interested at all, go check it out. Play the game with us. But let's get into it. So when you boot the game up, it's going to look like this. One of the biggest reasons for having this intro is that we don't have a tutorial yet. So if you want to learn how to play the game, this is the way to do that. Fun fact, you can rearrange the letters. There will be secrets in that later on. We don't currently have any. But let's get into a game. So Azoth has heroes and decks. The heroes all essentially have an ability for you to pay life, or whatever we end up calling this resource. Um, we'll call it life for now, to get some effect. So you can scry, dissolve, gain ether, draw one, recall one. Ferric is like the default character, probably the best to playtest with for now because it's pretty easy to convert cards to life, but you have to have a lot more experience to be able to like scry through your deck and know what you're drawing, or recall cards. Estra's probably busted. You can set up infinite loops fairly easily, I think. But that's what playtesting is for. So you pick a hero, we'll do Ferric, and then you have a bunch of different decks. Each gives you a different set of starting cards. I would always recommend starting with the basic deck because this is the one we designed for playtesting. But we have a bunch of decks and we'll have more as we keep going. And you could do random, which is also quite fun. We'll just do Ferric basic to get going though. So we'll start the run. Opening hand size is 6. So this is the life resource in the top left. If you run out of it, you die. So at any time you can click this button, presuming you have the available resources to use the effect. So if you had a different hero, this would give you a different effect. So I could spend 5 life right now and draw a card. If I do it again, I would die. So let's not do that. The way the game works is you can play cards, and cards are played in what's called a link. So you can play links in 3 different ways. You can either play a sequence of increasing numbers, so like 1, 2. You can play those together. You can play cards of the same element together, so like these 3 you can play together. And then you can also play groups of the same number. So something like this is also viable. And then the number at the top tells you how long of a link you need to have in order to be able to play that card in the link. So you can't play Sigil of Soul by itself because the link is only 1. You need another card in the link to make it possible. So 2 would be that. If we got up to like 3, you would need a link of 3 to be able to play this card. 7 is very difficult to play. And then 1 cost cards or 1 valence, you can always play because the link is 1. So, the goal of the game, each turn, you need to draw all of the cards in your deck and get it down to 0. Right now we have 8 cards in the deck, so we just need to draw through them. And early turns are fairly easy. All of the keywords, if you hover over it, it'll tell you what it does. So scry lets us look at the top card of the deck, put it on the bottom if we want. So we're going to foresee. We can play it by itself. We could play it with another card too, like this, to draft. Might as well do that to demonstrate it. When you play a link, the link will resolve left to right in order. So if I do foresee Sigil of Soul, that's the order it'll resolve. I'll draw and then draft. So we'll do that as a demo. So this is me being able to recycle off foresee. I'm going to keep that on top. And then I get to draft a card. And this is how you improve your deck. Worth mentioning, all the visuals are, are going to be replaced or improved. So stuff like this, the names, we're going to fix that. It'll look more like this, but be animated and stuff like that. So yeah, you get to draft, and this is how you improve your deck over time. So let's take, reverse transmute for the sake of things. And now we know the top card, because we just saw it, was Catalyst of Form. So if I distill, dissolve essentially takes the top card and puts it into the bin. So I'll play this, dissolve that card, and then get a new card. So if you see a card you want to get rid of, you can do that. Now we have a 3 cost, right? So we can either play this 1, 2, 3 is viable. Transmutable in groups. So if we find another 3 cost, we could play a group of these. So let's try and get that going. We will get rid of this and this. And then we want to draw and scry to set up this distill. So we drew the 3 cost we want. I'll just keep that on top. And so this card is transmutable in groups, which means you can use it in any group you want, right? You can play it with these to get 3, 3, and 3. Eventually, the display will update this to look like a 3. We're working on it. But for now, that's what we got. So you could play this is a valid sequence, and I think I'm just going to do that. This isn't optimal, right? You want to, if you're trying to play optimally, you would draft as many times as you possibly could to get a better deck. Like you maybe want to gain some life or something. So I guess we'll take that. And then, oh, that's even better actually. Now we just have the proper 3-3-3 sequence. And so the ordering doesn't matter because I have no cards in deck, but I want to show this because if you draw cards beyond what's in your deck, you get overdraw bonuses. So we're going to draw 3, then draw 2, then dissolve 2. So we're going to get, this is 5 draws, and dissolve also count towards overdraw. You're going to get 7 overdraw in the bottom left. I guess we need to make that update before we finish resolving this. Let's just get back to still here. So now we have 7 overdraw, and this will give us 2 more from the dissolve and draw. That'll be 9 overdraw. And the way it works is at the end of each turn, now that we've gone through our deck, we can end the turn anytime we want. At the end of the turn, your overdraw gets added to your life total. So if we end a turn here, we go up to 14 life. And so that basically rewards you for drawing as much through your deck as possible. At the end of each turn, you go to a fate select screen, and we're going to work on making this more clear what's happening. But basically you get to choose what's going to happen for the next turn. So these are called rituals. They have the arrow where basically you go through something that's a little bit more difficult, and then you get like a permanent bonus, like blood transmutation. Whenever you play Link, lose 1 life. And then if you complete that, you just forever will have, whenever you play Link, gain 1 life. These eyeballs at the top tell you how many choices you're going to have the following turn. So these are pretty beneficial. If you complete the ritual, you get a bonus. So you're only going to have 1 choice next turn. But if you wanted more variability, you're looking for something specific, you could take this thing, gives you 2 curses, that's not great, but then you'll have 5 options next turn. I'm going to take this one because I want to show it. And right now, we don't have bosses implemented, we just have regular turns. So each act has a set amount of curses that are going to be added to your deck. And it'll show you, as you go through the act, we'll add these curses to your deck. So Act 1 curses are pretty easy. They have a purge condition, which says you need to play Link containing this condition to get the curse out of your deck, and then you get to draw a card as well. So we have this one, which says play Link of 3, which means a length of 3, and you have to have a 1 blood card in that Link. We have another curse that's you just play any one, it's purged. So this one's much harder, but we can try and get there. So we actually have the option of playing a set, which is all cards of the same element. That'll let us resolve all of these, and that seems pretty good. So I'm going to play that first. And whenever we play Link, we lose 1 life. So we want to get through this with playing as few Links as possible. So we get to draft. And again, I would be paying more close attention to the draft. Let's just take Blood Frenzy because it draws 1,000,000 cards. So now we have our 1 cost card. We need a Link of 3. And the easiest way to do that is just play all of our 1s in a group. And so the curse, again, animation will improve. But these dots show you that the curse will be purged when you play this Link because it's 3 long and it has a 1 blood in it. So let's play this. This is going to get purged and draw us a card. And then we're discarding 2 cards from our first card. Let's just discard these 2. I think in general, if you're playing optimally, you would want to draft as many times as possible to build a better deck. And I don't really want to draw Catalyst of Power, but I'm going to distill it. So I'm actually going to recycle that to the bottom. Blood Ritual. It's a 3, which I like. I'll keep that one. So now I know Blood Ritual is on the top, so I'm going to play Transfuse. That purges this curse. And so we have no curses left in our deck. We've kind of finished this turn. To be honest, it starts out a little easy, but it Act 2 and 3 get pretty tough. And we will have boss encounters, which is going to be the main purpose of this game. We just don't have those implemented yet, but they're going to be awesome. So at the end of each act, we'll have a boss, and we're working on enemies too. So we'll get there. So I'm going to discard this, and the last card in our deck is Catalyst of Power, which would let us play Reform and Blood Ritual. So I think what I'm going to do is discard Transfuse. I don't know if this is right, but I just want to demo. I'm going to pay 5 life to draw. And then I can double Distill. That'll give me Overdraw. And then I can play this link, which will give me even more Overdraw. And I'm going to get back a Distill because it draws the most cards. Play that. And so now, you know, I'm down to 5 from Blood Transmutation, but I got this Overdraw. We'll end the turn. It would go up to 16 life. So we chose a card that had Foretell 1. That's the eyeballs. So we only have one choice this turn. And the balancing, again, the game's not, it needs balancing. But so this is what we have. And this is actually great because I wanted to demonstrate it. This is a consumable that just has Recall 2 on it. So all the potions, during the following turn, you'll be able to use it at any time during the turn you want. Using it now would be unadvisable because I have no cards in my bin. But let's see if we can start with a Distill. I wanted that card. I'm looking for a 2 because then I could go 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's pretty sick. And that's kind of what the game is about, right? We're building to bigger and bigger links. Eventually you can get up to playing 7. You can do some really, really fun stuff in this game. And it's very satisfying playing these links. So we have our 2 and I want to keep that. If I play Distill, it's going to dissolve it. So let's play Transfuse here. We have Blood Frenzy as well. So I could give up on... I could ditch these 2. Actually, this seems kind of good, right? Because I can now Blood Frenzy. So let's play Distill. Dissolve that. Sigil of Blood. If I play both of these, then I'm going to draw 2, discard 2. I think this works. I get to draft something. Let's grab a Dark Offering. Discard 1, then draw equal to its valence. Play that with Vital Echo. Discard it, draw 7. Seems pretty sick. Unfortunately, we have to discard this curse, but we can recall it off Reform. So let's play this group. And we want to discard our hand. And we want to recall at the end to make sure we can get back our curse. So we're going to draw 3, draw 4, discard 2 at random, dissolve 2, recall 1. So this is going to go crazy. And so we have a curse that's 1, 2. We have 1, 2, 3. So if I recall, this curse is harder. Get this back. I can now clear both of these curses and draw a bunch of cards and draft. There we go. And those all contribute to the overdraw. So let's take Vital Echo. Hope we can discard it. So overdraw 9, 23 life. And you just keep going, right? Eventually we're going to get through Act 1. The curses are going to get harder. Act 2, the curses will get harder. And like I said, we'll add enemies and boss fights that make this much more challenging, and you can scale the difficulty. But that's essentially the game. Trying to think what else to explain. We have a UI indicator that shows what has happened. I'm working on adding hover info, so you could hover over on like what you just played if you're like really curious what happened. But you just go to the right side of the screen and that'll show up. And I think that's it. You can quit the game. Yeah, quit to menu, exit game. And then you come back here, you can restart, continue. And that's it. So if you have any questions or interested in this game, it's on Steam. Go wishlist it. Let us know if you want to participate in the demo. Again, very early gameplay. A lot of improvements to come. And yeah, just let me know what you think. See you guys. I'm going to be making some videos doing runs, so I'll see you there.